The man was eating in a restaurant when he suddenly noticed something strange. At some point, the restaurant had been surrounded by a large number of police officers. He quickly scanned his surroundings. After seeing that there were only a group of elderly people and two mischievous kids inside, he instantly realized the police were here for him. The man calmly placed his payment on the table, then quietly waited for the police to arrive.
Police! Don't move! Don't move!
Now, you're gonna slide out from behind that booth, nice and slow.
Do it now!
What the police didn't know was that Jason, a retired special agent, could easily take them down even without a weapon. But this time, Jason chose to remain silent because he was just trying to enjoy a vacation and didn't want any unnecessary trouble along the way. After he was taken to the police station, the front desk tried to ask Jason for his identity, but Jason never responded. Instead, he quietly studied the layout of the station. His arrogant attitude immediately angered the chief. Just as the chief was about to resort to violence, a detective arrived just in time. This well-dressed and refined detective took Jason alone into a meeting room. Through the detective's explanation, Jason finally understood the situation. It turned out there had been a murder the night before. The coroner found two 9mm bullets lodged in the victim's head. Once the victim was confirmed dead, the killer carefully cleaned up the shell casings at the scene. Strangely, the killer only used a piece of cardboard to cover the body. And that morning, someone happened to see Jason passing by the crime scene. So the officers arrested Jason and brought him in. That's when Jason, who had been silent all along, finally spoke.
Because I didn't kill anybody. At least not recently.
And from the details the detective mentioned, Jason quickly deduced key information.
3 men dropped this body.
Enlighten me.
Shooter was someone who knows firearms well. Bullets were small caliber, 9mm, 95 grain, that's subsonic. A silencer was used. He also knew enough to pick up his brass. This wasn't a first-timer. This was someone who knew how to conduct a quiet, effective kill.
Although every one of Jason's deductions was backed by logic, the detective still wanted to know why Jason was near the crime scene. Jason helplessly explained that he had just gotten off at the station. Unfamiliar with the area, he had to continue on foot, and all the police found on him was a toothbrush, a medal, and $300. Even though Jason was cleared of suspicion, the chief still locked him up, saying the case remained unsolved. Just as Jason was growing frustrated, a cop came in and said there was a new lead. Police had found a phone number printed on the sole of the victim's shoe. Using their system, they quickly tracked down a man. At first, the man cooperated with the police's questioning, until he happened to glance out the window. Suddenly, he changed his story. He even insisted that the officers arrest him immediately. Even though the detective clearly noticed the man's inconsistencies, they still brought him to the station, hoping to get some useful information out of him. With a new suspect in custody, Jason was finally cleared just as the detective signaled that Jason could leave. Jason surprisingly refused, because his restraints were extremely uncomfortable. The detective told a colleague to grab some scissors, but Jason suddenly signaled the officer not to bother. Breaking free from them was like playing with a kid's toy for him. Just as Jason was about to walk out of the station, the detective suddenly called out and stopped him.